Yo. Okay, hey guys. Oh Jesus. Just give me a sec. I don't know what could be causing this. Why is this happening? What is happening? And we're dealing with it. I think everything is broken. Okay, I think yeah, there we go. That fixed it. Excellent. Hey, shout out to me for having messed with latency literally my entire musical career. So now I can quickly solve problems like this. But yo, what's up, guys? PTIYOP, good to see you. Yo, Nathan Williams, Spectre, is that you? Hey, I wish. I think there's some kind of weird thing going on with my Ableton where I can't use two instances today. Maybe it's like got turned off or something. Let's just try turning it off and then on again and see if that works. Like for some reason it's not opening, and that's the way that I usually do it, is by having two things of Ableton. Bro, okay. I am going to close this in a second. Music making tutorial on a James hype track. I make house music. I'll probably do that if enough people request it soon. Yo. Okay, it worked. Excellent. Nice. Now you guys can actually hear me talking, and you can hear the music. Let's go, baby. And we actually have more people than before I cut out the voice, so that's good, because I thought everybody would have left. Congrats on your release on Reloaded. Thank you very much, Nathan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's really great. That was actually the first Techno EP that I ever signed, which is interesting, because I really love that label. Like, it's really an honor to release with them. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited for you guys to hear these tracks, too. It's one of those things where, like, I've been sitting on these tracks for so long. Not so long, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've already heard them so much, so I'm excited for you guys to hear them and get, like, your comments and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna put a little uplifter in here. This is kind of like the perfect time to be working on the track. This is a track I started last night, actually. And you can see I just kind of started mostly with, like, the hi-hats and the kick and stuff. But we do have some kind of main elements in there. And we should be working on this today. Like I said, this is pretty much like, I feel like one of the most perfect times to be working on a track on the stream. Like a lot of times, it's very hard at some other stages in the evolution of making a track. There we go. But this is like a good stage to be in when I'm like showing you guys it. Because it's not like too early to where it's just going to be hard for me to actually do stuff without listening to the reference track and just dealing with that. But it's not like, I don't know. Sometimes if I start it, or if I pull it up on here when it's like too late in the process of making the track, that can be a thing as well. Alright, let's hear what this sounds like. let's use a different uplifter. I'll just use one that's like some white noise. There we go. Hey Julian, your projects in Bandcamp are complete with templates of Ableton? Yeah, what it is you get the project file and the samples and the MIDI and the presets from the video. So it's not just the samples. You're also getting, like I said, the template in Ableton and the presets and the MIDI. Like everything from the videos, not just the samples. Yeah. I probably need to get like better at like explaining that on Bandcamp so people will just be able to go and get it. Alright, let's just make our own little white noise thing here. Well, it's just that I need something that sounds cool. There we go. Alright, and now we need something like a hit. Like that would be perfect. Cool, let's take this back like one. Perfect, and then what I'm gonna do to bridge the gap between these two, this might be a little bit too extra, but we're gonna do it anyway, is I'm gonna get one of these. I'm pretty sure it's in here, yeah. There we go. I've used this one in a bunch of tracks. This is in 2 of the tracks that are on my Phantom Thieves EP, which is coming out on Reload. That's the one that we were talking about. And I'm pretty sure it's also in Destiny, which is already out. But this is just really good. It's like a good way to bridge the gap here with the effects. I'll show you. See, it's like it kind of pulls it into that next part a little bit. As opposed to without it, you can hear it's a very stark contrast. It's kind of just like all of a sudden. So yeah, that's why we put that in there. This is something that I kind of just learned, honestly, from listening to tracks. Like, I just kind of heard it in a lot of tracks. Started doing it myself. I also have this lead. A lot of you guys may recognize this from my Pleasure Craft tutorial the other day. It's actually literally just the lead from that. I'm probably going to work with it some more. There's a bunch of automation on this. You can see, I'm probably going to add a little bit more. But yeah, and then it just kind of builds up. And there we go, we get one of those kind of drops. Hey Julian, how do I get feedback from you? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Honey, I guess. Send it to the email in the description, and I will be, I'll be putting this up really soon. Also send a donation, preferably as well. But yeah, I'm gonna be giving feedback really soon, guys. I'm gonna work on this one for a bit. Once we get some people in here, and I see I have a bunch of notifications for submissions, that's when I'm gonna start pulling those up. But yeah. We have this ARP here. I need to like filter this down a little bit just going into the drop though. Like I'm thinking we do something like this. I can kind of like filter out the hi-hats there as well. I have the hi-hats going during the break because it keeps the energy going. Like if you go from drums to all of a sudden just no drums, it doesn't work that well. But if you go from drums to over top of like the break, it's a lot smoother, I find. Patrick, thank you for subscribing. Jack D, good to see you, man. I'm good. How are you doing? Yeah, there we go. That's just like a really smooth transition. And obviously, I'm going to add an effect in there as well. Where I was also thinking of doing, like, when it gets to here, like one bar before the drop, I could even maybe just have like a big brass tap. It's like exactly like that. I'm actually just going to sample that moment in the stream. All right, let's get us an uplifter. That was a weird way to say that. But yo, what's up with you guys today? How are you guys doing? It's good to see you all. Anybody making any cool new music? Anybody go see any cool shows? I talked about this on the stream yesterday a little bit, but I went to see a pretty tight show on Saturday. I went to see Him at Sound in Hollywood. Dude, they were amazing. It's like deeper techno. Like, it's not this style. It's more so like the I guess you could say it was kind of like deep house with like afterlife vibes, like very like Anjuna deep type like melodic stuff. Dude, it was insane. They're so good. Those guys, like, I was looking at them. They really like put in a lot of years. Like, they really have like, you can just tell like when you're hearing them in the club, they know what they're doing. Inspiring. Alright, there we go. And I'm gonna sample a track. Might get flamed for this, but I don't care. Hang on, I have to figure out what the BPM is. Yo, shout out Lil Tracy. By NMT93 Phoenix BPM. There's like this one little like reverse sound in this track. I'll show it to you guys. Okay, it's 130. I just didn't know what the BPM is, so I can like be able to use it. But I'll show you. There's like this one moment here, because they have this little intro with these claps. And then all of a sudden, there's this really smooth, I'm sure I can make something like that, but it's like, there's already one here, which sounds really, really good, so that's what we're gonna do. This might be too short, but I've been learning to use these little sweeps like this. Like, it actually is a really good thing to do. It's, like I said, it's very subtle. You have to have stuff around it and know how to put it into the mix. You can't just rely on this. But if you know how to like blend it in, it's really effective. And it does stuff that you can't get just not using it, which is why I use it. There we go. Fred, thank you for subscribing. Alright, and then let's like warp this and pitch it down again. I know it's a hi-hat. It's like a 909 open hi-hat. But this one sounds good. Nice. Alright, and then let's get a little psst for there. Project files. Dude, that's why you gotta have an external hard drive. I used to do that. I used to like lose my project files all the time. And now I have an external which has literally everything on it. And I don't have that problem. My laptop is just an empty vessel with Ableton installed on it pretty much. And then everything is just coming off of my hard drive. That's what you gotta do. I should make a video about that. I saw Sebastian again. Oh, that's tight. Nice, dude. So yeah, we know what's up. Good stuff. Thank you, Easy Engineering. How'd you make that groove? Here, I'll show you. The drums are actually pretty simple. So it's a kick. And then we got, there's like this little thing which you can hear in the intro. I'm probably going to switch the sound out, to be honest with you, at some point. I just thought it was something cool. Kind of mixes it up a little bit. This is a kick that I had just like a while ago. And then basically like the main drums are like this. Like we have this hi-hat. We have this thing, which is a loop from a sample pack. and I just filtered it, and I put an erosion on it, I believe, and I also pitched it down an octave. So here, I'll just play you the original loop. Okay, here's the original loop. So yeah, it's like this hi-hat loop. It was from this organic techno sample pack I got from Splice. And then yeah, I just kind of pitched that down. And then the last layer is this, which is just kind of adding like a bit of brightness, because what's happening is we have like this part, but then when it gets to this part, it needs more intensity. So you can hear that high end just kind of like ups the hype a little bit again. I'll play you the transitions. So yeah, just kind of like makes it a little bit more intense when we get to it. It's just a loop from Junction. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm using loops and samples, but like, if you didn't know what you were doing with music, you wouldn't be able to make a track that sounded professional using the loops and samples. Like, you wouldn't even know to do that stuff I did, where you transition in this part from not having the bright hi-hats to then bringing them in to make the energy go up. So it's like, stuff like that, you know, when you're using loops, again, it's not always just about like making everything yourself and being able to do that, because loops will get you very far, and they can sound really, really professional in a way that it's just almost impossible sometimes to get on your own. And it's like, again, if I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't be able to make a track that sounded like this using the loops. It would sound like I was using loops. And that goes for like every producer that's making professional tracks or getting released on labels. Like, dude, you really, those of you that don't already sample stuff from sample packs and from existing tracks, like, I'm telling you, that is the way that you make these kinds of, not even these kinds of tracks, but just like a lot of dance music right now. I'm gonna stop talking. I have this lead. It's alright. It's a preset. I want to change it out though. Let's make something cool. I'm gonna turn off that delay. I'm thinking something like with some FM. I was listening to Sama, dude. He's got some amazing leads. If you haven't heard his work on like Craft Tech and a bunch of other labels and stuff, dude, Sama's a very good producer. But he does like a lot of cool leads, like where they'll be like kind of trancey, like super soft style leads, but he just knows really well how to make them interesting. And so that's kind of like my inspiration for this. So that's why I want to do some FM, because you get a different texture like that. See, it's like a saw wave, but it just sounds like a kind of like messed up saw wave. It's cool. GBRO, good to see you. Bruce Long, crazy content, bro. Thank you. Right back at ya. Nah, let's chill with the high pass, bruh. That's not it. But yeah, I'm really on it with the content now, guys. It's not just YouTube videos. Like, a lot of people just make YouTube videos and say they have content, but now I have a lot of music releasing steadily. So technically, it's content because it's videos and music. It's not just videos. Yep, that is cool. We just need to work with that a little. But again, it's like, it's a saw wave, but it's a little bit more than just like your standard saw wave. Yeah, there we go. And let's put this LFO on the FM, and then we can just have that moving like really slowly. The sound needs to be really fat. Like this sound, I managed to get it sounding really fat. Which really the secret to that is just 2 drum buses. But yeah, we need to make this one equally as big. I'll make my efforts in the studio. Thank you. Hey Julian, it's been 2 months, man. Will you ever finish my work? You should email me. I am honestly not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, the 2 drum buses helps. It seems crazy, but again, like, it's one of those things where if it sounds good, it is good, and you just gotta do that sometimes. Alright, let's get some reverb on that. Send me an email and I will reply by the end of today. Guaranteed. Hey, what's up, dude? Bradley, good to see you again. There we go. The drum bus is also good for bringing out the reverb. Like, a lot of times when I make leads like this, I find, like, if you don't have these, you really end up just hearing the lead, right? Like, you're not even really hearing that reverb and delay that much. But when we bring in these drum buses, there we go. That brings it out. RS. Hey, good to see you, RS. Yes, much better. It's like, also, guys, I just am making like so many of these tracks now that, like, when I first started, it was fun to make all the super saws and like just the simple transitions. I emailed you today. Okay, gonna reply to that. Probably not by the end of the stream because I'm streaming, but by the end of today, I got you. Anyway, like I was saying, I've just been making so many of these like trancy super saws and just stuff like that, and like it's cool at first. But I've done it so many times, and I want to make more interesting sounds, so. Yeah, Salt Cage, you just gotta understand, like, I'm really busy. I'm the only person running this business. It's just really, like, getting to be a lot. I'm probably going to hire somebody soon, to be honest with you, and then replies and stuff will be a lot easier. I mean, I'm just being as transparent as I can be. Like, there's just literally only a certain amount of me to go around. And sometimes stuff like this just happens. I'm trying my hardest here. It's not that I ever intend to scam or rip anybody off. I really do want everybody to get the videos just as much as they want me to give them to them. It just is like, you guys gotta understand, like I said, I'm the only person running this business, and it's just becoming a lot. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, like, I mean, like tracks like this, for example, Phantom Thieves, which is coming out soon. Really like this track. And there it is. It's like, I already did the Transy Super Saw really well, so we're gonna, I gotta do something new. Also, we had the most amount of people we've had since the stream started. So, if you guys want to send a track through, all the info for that is in the description. I'm giving feedback really soon. I haven't been saying much about it since all these people came in. But yeah, I will be, whatever it's called. I'll be checking those out really soon. Definitely send them through. I already have a few. Matter of fact, let me see how many I have. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to pull these up soon. Also, this is for real the last thing that I'm going to say on this. But just know also, guys, like, you can't expect me to be perfect. I'm learning on the job right now, like, how to do this. And, like, how to run this type of business. And, like, just how to be a professional. and, you know, do things the right way and, like, not screw people over and just be fair. Like, I'm learning how to do all of this while I'm doing it on the job. And it's just it's one of the most overwhelming and unbelievable things. I mean, it's amazing, but it's just one of the most, like, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just unbelievable trying to do all this at once. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, I'm really trying my hardest, and of course, everything that I do, I try to do it as professional and with as much, like, integrity, I guess, as possible. Not, I guess. Yes, with as much integrity as possible. But, I mean, yeah, like, dude, I've never done this before. I'm 22. I'm, like, just, like, kind of learning how to do this. And it's, like, also, like, I mean, it's not that I can just stop taking up new people. Like, I gotta still have money coming in as well. You guys gotta understand that. That, like, I mean, I'm an adult. We have to be realistic here. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know how I got into that one. Hi, Jewel. Bobby Paris. Good to see you again. I don't need to whine on the stream. Man. Just know that, like, me giving a response is better than a lot of other people. Like, a lot of other people see messages like that, and, like, even if they want to help you, like, just you coming at somebody like that on the internet is enough to annoy some people in a way where they're just not going to want to even respond to you or help you at all. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, how long did it take for you to learn producing techno? Honestly, I kind of just started learning everything at the same time. Like, back in the day, when I first started producing, as you guys have seen with my channel and what I've done with this, with all my stuff, like, I don't exactly just stick to one genre at a time. Like, that's why I love this channel, and that's why I think I've been able to channel my efforts into making techno so heavily, is because I have this channel as a creative outlet for everything else that I want to do. But yeah, like, when I first started, I was just learning everything, so I would say it took me total 6 years to learn how to produce techno. Like, to be able to produce a track on the level that I can produce now. It's just, like, 6 years of just, like, hard grinding. Like, I pretty much picked up producing, and I was already really in love with making music, so, like, when I got to producing, it was just, like, it was over. Anyway, this first one here is from James. Hey, Julian, been working on a beat track for something I sent you the other day. Came up with this. Yo, you've been sending a bunch of stuff. Shout out to you for working hard on making a lot of new tracks. Whatever it's called. I appreciate the hustle. Feel as if it needs a bit of work, but could do with some help. Thoughts on the synth drop at 408? Is it too weird, or does it fit? Remind me to drop you a donation soon, PTW, bro. Yeah, no problem. Dude, like I said, I respect your hustle. Most important question is, what do you put on the master channel? I'm pretty sure the only thing I have on the master for this track is this utility. Well, I'm gonna pause that. Is because I have the utility and the break here, you know, just kind of turns everything down. So then when we get to the drop, there we go. That's the only thing I have on the master, though. And actually, I'm using this less than most people do. Usually, people will use the utility and have it just turn on there and then go down to, like, -3 or -4 or even -5. But I've already got my dynamics pretty much in check. Like, it would honestly work without this, I think. It just makes it that much better. So, yeah, that's the only thing I have on the master. Let's hear this one from Medici. Are you self-taught? Yes, I am. Just completely, the same way I'm teaching you guys is the way that I learn, just through YouTube and the internet. Julie, appreciate all the content. Thank you very much, WD. I appreciate it. Alright, we back on the house. Speaking of, I should probably save this. That'd be smart. Sounding pretty bad so far. I can't complain. The hi-hats are sounding pretty bright. The kick is pretty hard. I'm gonna listen to it on the monitors in a sec. I really figured that out though. cool vocal. You can maybe turn it up a bit though. Like, actually, I'm gonna. Yeah, you can definitely make the vocal bigger. Try putting like some. I know this is a very me thing to do, but try putting like some drum bass on the vocal. Honestly, it may seem odd, but it's like honestly, drum bass just kind of does what everybody thinks compression is supposed to do when they don't really know how it's working. So like basically, yeah, put some drum bass on it or put something on it to just fatten it up. Really make that vocal like on top of everything. Yeah, the old school house vocal, yeah. Big combo. This is good. I noticed a lot of the stuff you send in is simple. And a lot of times that's my critique, is that it's too simple. But you're doing a good job here of doing something that's a bit more like simple, but still sophisticated, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not just like doom, 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 like over and over. It's still, this has a good.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever had
a good thing going on with the notes there. Henry, good to see you, dude. I gotta respond to your email too. Yeah. I don't know. I like the arrangement. I mean, it's a pretty good house arrangement. You know, you have like enough breaks. It looks like where it breaks it up, but then you still have like long enough drops. PSP vintage warmer, dude. That's what everybody used to talk about when I first started producing. Every single person that I ever saw make a YouTube tutorial about how to make a dubstep bass, which at the time was a lot of them. Dude, every single video, they were like, you need PSP vintage warmer. To this day, I still haven't used it. But I know it's a good one. I should probably get on that to start fattening up my sounds. Anyway. It's really like a weird memory jog that you bring that up, because I haven't heard anybody talk about it in a long time. So it's just like a weird thing. That build snare could be stronger. Like, I would really like to hear it going, like, really hear the punch on that build snare, because that's going to make it hit a lot harder in the build. You need an analog gear? No, you don't. All you need is your brain. And whichever DAW or music making equipment you use. Nice build there. Vocals are a little bit off time as well. Probably clean that up.
Let me ask you something.
I like how that little like pluck kind of coming in and out as well. Same thing here also. I think that build snare could be a bit fatter. You just take a dab? No, I did not take a dab. This will be a very different stream if I just took a dab. Let me tell you. What up, YouTube? Oh yeah, so this one, very good track, dude. Definitely a good step in the right direction. Like, this is honestly better than the track that you sent yesterday, and it's only been one day, so you're moving quickly. I appreciate your hustle as well. Like, that is something. Seems like you're making a lot of stuff. This is what you guys need to be doing, is just making as many tracks as possible. Like, honestly, all the techno releases I have coming out are because I'm doing the same strategy that this guy is doing, and you guys could be doing this as well. Like, you guys could be having the exact same releases that I'm having if you just like try as hard as this. But anyway. Oh, Jesus Christ. Take my criticism. No, I feel it. I mean, it can maybe have a few more, like, parts. Like, maybe you can have, like, the parts where the cake filters up type thing. Or something like that. But the arrangement is good with this one. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of effort, like, worrying about that. I would just keep working on it. Maybe fatten it up a little bit more. And yeah, Shrek needs some furniture on the master and it's good to go. Exactly. I use PSP Vintage Warmer on my master. Well, that's what I do a lot of times. Like, when I'm mastering tracks, like, I mean, you guys see in the videos where I make, like, a full track from scratch. It's, I usually put a saturator on the master like that, like, and use that. So you can definitely use PSP Vintage Warmer. I mean, any saturator will work for that. Was it? It was not a jewel. I will never hit a jewel. That is never. Ew. SJ Sybil donated $5. Thank you very much. Dude, send that to the email in the description. Nah, just kidding. No judgment if you're on that jewel life. Just not really my thing. Nah, if I just took a dab, guys, I would have come back up from him and been like, what up, YouTube? Shout out to you guys if you know who that is. Okay. Anyways, we are going to go back to checking out tracks now. Yeah, nice one, James. This next one here is from Jonathan. Let's hear this. Hey, it would be great to get some brutally honest feedback on this track. Thanks. Dude, I got you. Dude, the one thing about, like, speaking of brutal honesty, is, you know, a lot of times, like, maybe I shouldn't reply to some of these comments, or I shouldn't, like, engage, but, like, the truth is, like, I'm just trying to be as transparent, as honest as possible. Like, I'm not, like, the type of person to try and sweep it under the rug. Like, if somebody's coming in this chat here and saying, like, yo, you scammed me, you ripped me off, like, whatever it may be, like, I mean, I don't know. Whatever situation, like, I'm just gonna speak my truth. And then if they get mad at that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not so worried about repercussions because it's like, I'm just being honest with you guys. Don't you use VSTs? Isn't there better? There are, but to be honest with you, I mean, I just know Ableton Saturator so well. I haven't had it sound bad yet, so, yeah. Decapitator is cool. I have Decapitator, but I just don't really, I don't know. Like I said, I just like using Ableton Saturator. The one I know how to use. The Capitator is cool though. The thing is, I find it to be a little bit too heavy for what I want. Seems like a tool like that. One thing I've noticed is some people, and I know this because I have ADHD, some people seem like they have ADHD, and then what happens is, like, they want to hit me up, so instead of sending me one message, their brain starts, like, firing off, and all of a sudden, they're sending me, like, 50 messages, and, like, just saying the same thing over and over and over again on multiple social media platforms. Like, that's one thing that, like, really, like, you can't be doing that. That's just not a good look, and, like, people do that, but it's like I said, it's, like, sometimes, it's, like, it's not even so much anything I did, it's, like, certain people, they're just, like, predisposed to that, like, they're going, like, if you don't reply to their messages for a certain amount of time, they're just going to freak out and start sending a bunch of messages. Your honesty is why your channel is growing so fast. I know that, dude. That's what I'm saying. These people, they admire that. People think, especially, like, in this world of electronic music, that fakeness is, you might have been honestly clowning me, but I'm still going with it. But, like, a lot of people in this world think you gotta be fake, but that's not true. If you are just really yourself, like, really the people who win the most are the people who are just themselves the hardest. And yeah, you don't seem like you have ADHD. Dude, if I didn't have ADHD, this channel, I wouldn't be able to make so many different types of music. And I wouldn't be able to make a video every single day either. Capitator distorts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, every time I try to use it, it just becomes super hard distortion. So, not really having it. I like Saturator because it's a little bit more nuanced. Julian, how old are you? I'm 22 years old. Just turned 22 a week ago. But yeah, I refuse to call it bad, but I have very strong ADHD. Like I said, if I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't have this channel. You just gotta make bomb tunes. That's true. But some people can make bomb tunes and then they're just like sitting behind their computer all day. ADHD can be a perk. Dude, ADHD is a superpower, straight up. Like, for about 95% of my life, it was a problem, but now it's a superpower. In the way that, like, mattered way more than any of that stuff. Feedback is better than that school. Perkiness is too much in focus. Yeah, speaking of this track, I'm not crazy about this one. If I'm giving you my most brutal, honest feedback, or brutally honest feedback, I think you need to clean it up. Like, it just sounds like kind of cheap, I feel like. Like, you have some good stuff. Like, that clap, for example, is very fat. It has a lot of that mid-range that you want to get, like a fat clap. And to get a clap that's really strong. Okay, yeah, and that melody is, like, not the best. But, like, then it's just the other stuff around it. Like, those hi-hats sound really fizzly and just kind of, like, cheap. Like, they don't sound like good samples. They just sound kind of weak. And, like, your kick is getting buried underneath the bass line. This part just kind of comes in, like, I get that it's sort of building to it. But it's like, this doesn't really feel, like, you would never hear this in, like, a professional track by, say, like, imagine if you're listening to a track by, like, that really sound like Defected or Tool Room. Like, you would never hear that. You would never hear that in a track on, like, Defected or Tool Room or, like, something like that. Like, it just isn't really that good, I think. I would just get rid of that and just build into this drop. Keep it more focused. And yeah, same thing here. Kick's getting buried. I also think you can work on the arrangements too, or the arrangement. Like, the break is a bit longer than any of the drops. Like, if you're gonna have a super long break like this, I've made tracks that have a break that's like really long like that. What you need to do is just make the drops just make them like longer, and not even just like extend what you have, but I mean just do more with it, to be honest. Stereo bass. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, on top of that, the music is just kind of boring. Like, I mean, it's just like, it's not really anything super. Like, it doesn't really grab me. I'm never gonna remember this. It doesn't leave an impression on me. It's just like, it's just sound. So that's what you need to work on. And all of this, what this really sounds like to me is you're just somebody who just needs to keep practicing. Like, this isn't like, I'm not saying like you're bad at music. I'm just saying it sounds like you need to keep working on your skills at making music because, yeah. Are you going to school for music? No. I went to school for business for 2 years and then I dropped out. And then I started this channel like a day later. Dude, I have ADHD. Maybe I should start a YouTube channel. I get so damn caught up in my own mind. Yeah, like, dude, before I had YouTube, it was bad. Like, just trying to navigate, like, the world, like, the quote-unquote normal world of, like, being a quote-unquote normal person, living, like, with this in your brain is just, like, yeah. But once I had the YouTube channel and the music started working out, all of a sudden, I could channel it into something that could bring me success and not just be, like, lost in my own mind, wondering why I'm so alienated from everybody else. Hey man, I love your stuff. What mic are you using? This is a Rode NT1A. It's a nice condenser. Could you do more experimental? Yeah, I'm probably gonna do more. Holly Herndon, I've never done one on her. That one's definitely coming up soon. What was the guy's reference track? I don't know. It sounds like, honestly, he may not have used a reference track. Like, sounds like one of those type of tracks. Alright, well, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is Romolo. Tell me what you think. Still work in progress, though. In the same position, what do you think you'll end up doing? Well, I'm already doing this. Like, this is already a business. I make a living off of YouTube, not from like YouTube ad money or like sponsors, but like just by being Julian Earl, I guess, and then putting my skills out there, and then just sort of like opportunities from that. But yeah, so I plan to just continue doing this forever. how did you get started with YouTube? So, okay, yeah. So it's pretty much the story I just said. Basically, I did really bad in college for a year. The first year I did really well. Second year I did really horribly. Honestly, was very irresponsible and childish of me. I know. But at the end of that year, my parents finally saw my grades, and they're like, yeah, like, you're not, like, you need to do something else, dude. Like, this isn't for you. And so that was when I started with the YouTube channel. Basically, at that time, I had been producing for 5 years, and I had spent that time, like, really, really working. That was part of the reason why I did so poorly in the last year of being in college, is because I was working really, really, really hard on music, like, just so locked in. And so, finally, like, it just lucked out that, like, right at that time when I dropped out of college, my production skills had, like, gotten to that point where I could make a video about it and I could explain it. And yeah, I just kind of did it. Like, it was one of those things where it's like, it kind of just had to work out. And it did. Julie, you need to get, yeah, maybe, but I always feel like that's so pointless. Like, I would never go and just, I mean, I guess maybe people will buy that. I'd get some affiliate money. I don't know. I feel like it's just extra. But it seems like you guys want it, because now we got a second person. I sampled a rumble kick from my track. Had to EQ, add a lot of high end to get just the kick. Lost a lot of punch from the kick because of it. Should I layer it with another kick? Alright, well, we'll see when I get to that. I have some advice for that. I know how to do that. Mailbox money. That's what I'm saying. I feel like nobody would do it, but maybe they will. Maybe I'm wrong. I think a picturized envelope with the punch also. Yeah, I'll do that. I also feel like society is then you're not able to live a normal life because that's the situation. Dude, I feel like that every single day of my life. Like still, like I'm like just so. I don't know. That's crazy to bring that up, but like every single day of my life, this is something that I think about. I mean, because it's true. Like you really are like this. I mean, the society that we live in just isn't. Like, it's designed for, like, just kind of being slower, I guess. Like when you have ADHD, and I think what Friday is High Day is describing, and what I'm definitely describing I have, is, like, your brain is just constantly firing off. Like, for example, like, I'm just always having thoughts about something. Like, I have a hard time sleeping. Like, pretty much at this point, like, in order to sleep, I have to just make myself so exhausted that, like, my brain just doesn't even want to try to think of things anymore. Like, it's just, like, you're constantly just firing things off, and it makes pretty much everything about society and, like, social things kind of weird. I mean, like, when you're in, like, a social interaction, it's like, you know, you're constantly trying to, like, say something and say the next thing and, like, think of something to bring up just because, not even because you need to, but just because your brain is, like, sending these false signals and making you want to do that. So, yeah, dude, I think about this every single day. I mean, I just don't think, I think that we can get there to feeling more normal, but it definitely is, like, especially when you're kind of, like really, I don't know, when it just really makes your early life hard as well as it was with me. But yeah, designed for sheeps. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's like, I just think most people who don't have this brain condition and aren't born with ADHD, like, their brains are working normally. Like, they're not constantly firing off, freaking out about a million things at once. My problem is also, I have anxiety. So it's like, if you know, like, the fixation that you get from ADHD and, like, what that causes you to do to really, like, to just be really always thinking about things, like, imagine that combined with anxiety. So, yeah, dude, I feel that every single day. I don't want to say that society is, like, fucked up. Like, we just can't be a part of normal society. I'm still trying to, every single day, get myself there. But it definitely, I mean, it's not designed for you, people like you and me, and other people like us who are watching this to feel comfortable. I'll say that. Like, you definitely have to make yourself comfortable in it. But I guess that makes you stronger. What's up with the alleged scam, Julian? Okay, basically, a bunch of people paid me for things who were kind of impatient and didn't really have any, like, ability to wait. No, that sounds kind of immature. What I mean to say is, like, basically just a bunch of people who paid me for different, like, custom tutorials, ghost productions, stuff like that, who I have told that I'm going to get the things to them. And obviously, I have every intention to get everybody the things that they paid for, because just as much as I want their money, I want them to have the satisfaction of having a video or a track or whatever it is that they bought from me that they love. I want them to have that. But they just all started, I don't know, it's like a few people started hitting me up about it, and then really it was more so me. I think I kind of made it like a little bit of a meme with my tweets, because I was tweeting about it and stuff. But it's just like a lot of people emailing me and sending me DMs and just like doing it really, really excessively. And it's like, at this point, it's not even like that. It's not even like me not responding to them. Like, I'll respond to them, and then when, like, that's the problem too, is like, I would start responding to people, and then like when I do that, then they just start sending you a million more messages. It's like you can't engage with them, because if you do, yeah, they're just gonna start, like I said, like sending you a bunch of messages, and it's just gonna get worse. So it's more so, it's like an impossible problem that just kind of happened. It's like impossible for me to fix it, and impossible for them to fix it, because they don't seem to really want to wait any longer. And it's just one of those things. But it's really not anything. Like, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It's just some impatient people, pretty much. Do you ever compare your success to other success? How do you handle that? A lot. I have in the past. I don't know. I stopped doing it as much now. I mean, I still do it every single day. It's impossible not to do that with Instagram, you know? Like, it still is, like, a major thing that I'm still constantly working on. But it's just like, also, once you start getting your own success, like, you still compare yourself to other people's success, but it's more so like, it's just driving you to go harder with what you're doing. Like, when you haven't done anything yet, I feel like you look at other people's success and you feel like, you know, like, oh, I'm such a loser, I'm never gonna get there. But when you're already like doing something that's working really well for you, and then you see other people doing well, like, it's more so like it just motivates you to really work as hard as you can, and just go harder with what you're doing. How'd you feel about Spartak playing a track? Dude, that was insane. Shout out to Spartak. He's a great DJ, amazing label owner, amazing producer. Like, what he has put together with IMT and Codex, and like his whole little like thing that he has with like the way they promote their releases, because they have the big YouTube channel, they have the 247 Techno playlist on Spotify. Like, they have this huge network where they're able to just promote their releases. He can play the tracks out live. Like, what he's set up there is so smart. Like, it's such a cool business. But yeah, did you take payment before delivering product? Yes, I did. And, you know, the reason why you have to do that in this business is because I've just been ripped off too many times. Like, straight up, guys. Like, I've never had a job before. I've always worked on the internet. Back when I was in, hey, Calum, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it, dude. If you want to send a track through, definitely send it through. But I will, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Like I said, yeah, I mean, that's the only way to do it, because, like I said, I've worked on the internet my whole life. I've never had, like, a job, like, at like a store or something like that. I worked at my dad's store a bit, but like not like I've gone out, like that wasn't the primary way that I made money. When I was younger, I made money being a graphic designer on the internet. That's how I know how to do all these thumbnails and all this motion graphics and stuff. But like, dude, I mean, I don't know what to say. I've just been ripped off too many times. I'm not gonna work for people. I'm putting the amount of time and effort. Like I said, the reason why I'm taking the money up front is because I'm so confident that they're gonna get a product that they love. Like, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. It's not because I'm trying to rip them off. It's because it's like I'm expecting them to pay that, because just as much as they're expecting me to deliver, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm just so confident that I can deliver. It's not a problem. And like I said, I've just been ripped off too many times. It's how it is. I'm weathered. Just impatient, surely. Exactly, dude. Just like, if they could just be patient. Because the thing is also, every time this happens, like somebody's hitting me up and hitting me up and hitting me up, and then finally one day when I have made the video at the time when I intended to, and when I have it ready to go, it's like then I send it to them. They're like, oh wow, thanks. Sorry I sent you so many messages. Sorry I gave you so much of a hassle. I love the video. It's amazing. It's like, great. You could have just waited and been patient. You would have gotten the video at the exact same time, and you wouldn't have had all that headache. It's like, this is what I'm saying, dude. It's literally just impatience. And then they try to make it look like something else, but it's never that. And it's never, like, I'm just not a shady person. Like, listen to how, like, candid and, like, vulnerable and honest and open with you guys I'm being here. Like, you know? It's not like that. I'm not interested in doing that. I don't even think about that. I'm not thinking of it in, like, a way, like, I can take advantage of people. It's just, like, they just think that. And I get it. Like, there are a lot of people trying to take advantage, but it's, like, I'm not that. Like I said, I have integrity. I'm reputable. I'm accountable as well, dude. I have this whole YouTube channel where you can go make a bunch of noises. Anyway, this is what I was talking about with the ADHD. When I get started talking about stuff like this, it just goes and goes and goes. So, Yeah. It's hard making long-term life plans. It is. I'm getting better about that, though. I'm getting much better about that. ADHD and anxiety sound perfect for hunting and gathering. I mean, that's the thing. That's why I have managed to make a living and be able to live in one of the most expensive cities in the world off of just having a YouTube channel that has like 20,000 subscribers. Is because of the ADHD and the anxiety, and because, like you said, hunting and gathering, dude. I'm a modern hunter and gatherer. Can you go on reviewing tracks? Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. What were you talking about? Well, mostly, I was talking about two things. One, I was talking about ADHD, and I kind of got into that. Just trying to provide some advice, I guess, for people who have it as well. And then I was talking about impatient people who try to make a stink about me, but they can't because I am a business owner with great integrity who's reputable and does the things that I say I'm going to do. Like, when have I ever said I'm going to do something publicly that I haven't done? Everything that I've ever said I'm going to do, I've done. And everything that's continually, forever. So that should be enough. Anyway, I'm going to go on reviewing tracks now. But yeah, I'm about to like just cut out that snippet of me talking about all that and just send that to all these people. This one is good sewing though. This actually is off to a very good start. It's a nice melodic techno track. I had a melodic techno video come out today. Yeah, contagious ADHD stream. High and bad because of the stream? I don't know what you're talking about, actually. There's not a lot of high end on my voice. This track, actually, that was one of the critiques I was going to give, is that you should probably turn up the high end, so could be that. I feel like a lot of artists have some kind of mental condition. Well, definitely, I actually do think that, like, if you look at, like, some of the most successful musicians, they are all people with, like, the exact same personality type, like I have, like, just, like, that very, like, high energy, like, ADHD, with a little bit of anxiety mixed in there to give you, like, that safety net that makes you keep working, you know? Like, it does actually take you pretty far in, like, it's weird. Like, society does reward that in some ways if you, like, really make yourself struggle and get somewhere. But then, like, if you're on a low level, I guess they hate it. Yeah, this one's tight, dude. I'm getting Bonson vibes, which, of course. You can tell my monitor. You could probably deal with, like, some more atmosphere stuff, though. That's the thing I'll say. Just having the synth here. Like, if this was, like, a Stefan Bonson track or something, he'd have, like, a pad or something going. I feel like. That's it, it's very fat. my desk was like vibrating. And I didn't realize what it was for a second, but it was just because I hadn't turned off my monitors. Yeah, bass would help. Like you can do either or really. Bass, a pad. Just do some more. And then when we get here, it's getting kind of boring as well. That's another thing like that Stefan Bodson does really well. I keep comparing this to him, but I mean it's inevitable with this style of track. But it's like he does a good job of keeping his arrangements interesting when you get to this point. Like you're 5 minutes into the track, so you have to have either something new or maybe the same sound, but it's doing something a little bit new, or some kind of new or like automation that we haven't heard yet. Like. Just something to keep it exciting at this point. Even like if you have an element, maybe like you have another element. Like whatever pad was playing around this part, maybe that goes away in the middle and then comes back here. That's something I do a lot. Like in my techno tracks, maybe I won't have like a new lead all of a sudden come in 5 minutes in, but I'll just bring something back in that I had previously taken out. You know, it's just stuff like that I think you can do to really bring this to life. Because when we get here, I mean, it's just kind of boring. I also think it's a bit muddy if you listen to like this part. I feel like everything is kind of fighting for the same space. You can make everything more focused into its own sort of like group of sounds. But yeah, this was not bad soloing. Especially if you didn't use a reference track for that. It's pretty solid, but overall, I would just keep working on it. Because it's not quite there. But yeah, thank you for sending that one through. This next one is from, I want to get the right one for, who sent that donation? Who was there was like one and then there was another one. Let me see who the first one was when this comes back around. I know, very, very professional way of doing that. Solid track, I'd say. I think it's like 80% of the way there. If you just get to that last like 20%, it would be fantastic. Okay, it was, I know one of them was from Calum. I'm going to play that one because I'm not sure who the other ones are. But, yeah, just make yourself known in the chat and I'll play yours next if you sent a donation before this. Hey, Julian, finally caught into the stream. Have this track nearly fully arranged, but just wanted to get some feedback. Thanks, man. No problem. Let's hear this. Honestly, I would have started this with more sounds in here. Like, I know what you were going for with, like, the minimal, like, one sound or one or two sounds because you had that little bass. Like, two sounds, and then it kind of builds up to something more. But honestly, you could start this, like, around here. And it'll be good. Now, I'm not crazy about this melody, to be honest with you. I think it's a bit repetitive. Repetitive can be good, but it has to be the right thing that's very repetitive. It can't just, it's not just because something is repetitive that it is good. It has to be very good to warrant you wanting to hear it so many times. And it's like, I'm already kind of bored of this thing, to be honest with you. Just feel like it could be more interesting. Look, kick is pretty fat, although the bass could be stronger. You don't even need more lowering in your bass because it's all happening in the kick right now. Sure, it's too long. Yeah, maybe. Okay, like with this break, it's kind of missing something. Like, this is actually what I was talking about before with my track. Like, if I play you like this break, for example, I'm not just trying to say I'm so amazing. I'm just saying like this is a technique that not just I do. This is a very common thing that I hear in tons of tracks in this style, and I think it's just something that you haven't picked up on yet. But listen to this break. So right now, here's what it sounds like if I don't have the hi-hats in it. And then listen to it with the hi-hats in it. See how there's so much more intensity and so much more energy, and coming out of the drop, it keeps that same thing going, so it's not just all of a sudden like this super quiet break. This is what you need here. You need either some hi-hats, like imagine we just had underneath this. It'd be perfect. That's what you need. Or like you could even have like a kick that's filtered down. Like sometimes people in their break, I've done this before as well. Like you can take your kick and put a bandpass filter on it, so you cut out the cut out all the high end and all the low end. This guy is rushing to arrange something. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like I say this a lot. Like when people send in a track and I say like it sounds like they have 16 bars worth of music, and then they're trying to turn it into a full song. That's what's happening here. It sounds like you have like maybe a little loop or like the start of an idea, and then you're just taking that and expanding it into a full track. I'm gonna keep listening to it. I'm not just gonna end it. But like I definitely don't feel like we have 7 minutes worth of stuff here. Need more OTT? I would not necessarily say that. That lead is nice. That's actually really good. It could be fatter and it could be more present in the mix. But dude, you should be using that sooner. Okay, yeah, Colin. So overall, that's pretty much what's going on here. It's just that you need to take it and spend more time with the loop and really properly get that sounding good, and don't just make it like, don't just rush to arrange nothing, like Taz Rogers said. All right, let's hear this next one from Jorge. T78 ROBPM Acid Lick remix. Oh, here we go. This is a big track. There's that vocal. I've then heard that. Finally some music. You forgot to say techno before that. Let me hear this on my monitor. took the idea. I'm not bringing anything in. Yeah. No, you're doing it well here. Like, I like how you don't bring anything in that first minute, besides the drums, of course. And, like, you know, you can have a little bit of stuff, like effects, that little, like, vocal sample that you have, stuff like that. But, you're doing a good job, and then you kind of start bringing it in just, you know, slowly. Like, just don't jump right off the bat. It's a good technique for techno because when, like, the feedback I get from labels a lot of times is or I used to get it, now before I figured this out, is that they would say, like, yeah, if you have too much stuff in the beginning, like, say your track starts out with, like, a pad, or it starts with, like, a vocal sample, or even worse, like, if it starts with, like, a synth, like, say you have a 303 just going from the beginning, then what's going to happen is it's going to be hard to mix it in because when you're mixing out of the track before it, you don't want to have all of a sudden the synth come in that's way out of key with the track that you've been playing. You want to have just kind of like the drums so you can subtly bring it in. So that's the idea there. It's just for the DJ. But yeah. Where are you from? I am from Virginia, just outside DC, originally. Now I live in LA. Good push on this on my monitors. Yeah, this one does sound good. I think the kick could be a little fatter. To be honest with you, I think you just need to do a little bit of this technique I've been doing recently. Listen to this kick. So here's without, I have the drum bus here. This transient snub is very powerful. Here's without this. And then with it. So you just need to do a little bit of that to make your kick hit a little harder. It's just not quite hitting. Hey Julian, sorry for jumping back to the ADHD discussion again. In your opinion, the biggest difference between ADD and ADHD? I'll talk about that in a sec. What are you talking about? You got Leo Messi? People love that sport. Mixing key. Yes, but it's like, I mean, it's just not realistic to just say, oh, okay, because I did this specifically in my track, I'm special, and every DJ, when they play this track, they're gonna know to mix it in this certain way. Like, no, like, it's a matter of playing the game, you know, you gotta come to the people. Have something from the beginning. I mean, I'm not just saying have a minute of silence. I'm saying have, like, drums and effects and a vocal sample or, like, small stuff. I mean, you could even have, like, a synth stab, but just don't be, like, having your full 303 right at the beginning because it's going to sound bad. Sea of Sidewave, thank you for the donation. I'll play your track next. I appreciate it. Didn't want to turn this off. See your track playing this Spartak? Thank you, yeah. Shout out to Spartak for playing that. That was really sick. Hoping he'll play some more of my other tracks. This is a big break here. You really went for it there. Yeah, overall, dude. This one's pretty good. I just think you can maybe, like, one thing I'll say is maybe try bringing in a pad. I know the type of techno you're trying to make, but this break here would really be benefited if you had, like, just like a high note, or maybe like a chord, or something like that. So yeah. Just like something subtle, so it's not just stabs and 303 and vocal, you know? Probably some techno going down there. Probably. Techno is going down everywhere, worldwide. Right now, everywhere in the world, people are raving to techno. Yo, my track is still up. Yeah, I'll get to your sound. Take your time. But yeah, okay, so about the ADHD and the ADD thing, hyperactivity is mostly in the childhood. I mean, I still have the hyperactivity a little bit. It depends on the person. It's what happens is basically is like you start, so it's like the day you're born, right? You don't really have a personality. You don't know anything about the world. You don't have anything. All you have really is just the brain that you have been given. So what kind of happens is it kind of like gets filtered through your personality. Like certain people, like me, for example, like when I was a kid, I was very like alienated and isolated. So what I did was I just kind of like embraced it, I feel like. But certain people who have it, like because of their certain type of their certain personality, some people just figure out how to tune it out. Like they just get so sick of it, I feel like, and they get to a point where like it's still going on, but they're just numb to it. Like you're not gonna see them being super hyper and super like crazy, or not crazy, but like, you know, just being super energetic because they've just gotten so sick of it, and they're just like the way they are is just like they've just tuned it out, you know, like. It just kind of depends, but it also I'm pretty sure it's like ADD is when you're a kid and then turns into ADHD when you're an adult. But yeah, it's like the hyperactivity is not always what it seems. That's all I'm gonna say. And like with the stuff about like when you're a kid, I just mean like, you know, when you're born, like you just kind of have this, and then like you have certain like things happen to you in your life, and that obviously turns into your personality. And that's basically what it gets filtered through. Stream only lagging at me. Oh no, oh god, we're having stream problems again. Okay, let me know if it's still having problems, guys. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Okay, I'm checking out this r/EDM production thing. Nice. Thought it was just the internet in Argentina. Julian, I have to confess, I don't love or know about techno that much. Hey, that's okay. Okay, I think the lag is better now. I'm not sure. Let me know, guys, if you guys are still having problems. I'm about to get up in this Reddit thread. It depends a lot on your personality. What you're saying is we need ADHD to sit there and make beats 24/7.